Welcome to the We Are Beautiful show, where your voices will be heard with your hosts, Irene Crow and Karen Thomas. We are broadcasting live at Bold Radio, so grab your choice of beverage and let's be heard. Now, here's Irene and Karen.
Okay, hello everybody and good morning. Happy Wednesday, beautiful. Let's ring in our beautiful. I'm here today with my co-host Karen, and we want to welcome this beautiful, beautiful guest, Pam. Pam, please, I apologize. I might not be able to pronounce your last name correctly, so I'll let you say it.
You got it. It's Pam Drizwicki.
Drizwicki,
and we are just so excited, Irene and I, to have our very first guest on the We Are Beautiful magazine radio show today on this beautiful Wednesday. Unfortunately, it's not very beautiful where Pam and I are in Connecticut. How about where you are, Irene?
Well, it's been gloomy. I'm tired of the rain, so rain, go away. I think I could handle the snow better than the rain and the fog, but what is it?
I'm with you on that. I mean, this winter has been really a little bit of a drab because I am for the snow. I am a snowmobiler. I love anything with snow, and this rain is really just I don't know, not only is it dreary, but it's also depressing. So trying to keep happy and upbeat has been quite the challenge, but it is going well for our new year so far. And we're in our third radio show for January, and very, very excited, like we said, to introduce our guest, who is a fabulous friend of mine, who is an acquaintance of Irene's. Irene, you've met her at a couple of events up here in Connecticut.
Beautiful, right.
And
beautiful.
I would love to introduce right now Pam Drizwicki. She is a business life coach, and she is the owner of Powerful Purpose. So welcome, Pam. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello there. Thank you very much for having me on your show. I was very excited when I got the invitation. I am a business life coach for female entrepreneurs and professional women, helping them navigate through life and creating abundance in their business and their life through different techniques of time management and work-life balance and goal achievement. So,
well, I am just impressed with everything that you have been doing. And today, as part of our show, the reason that we had Pam come on today is not only because she is a wonderful person and she is a radio expert, because she also does other radio here in Connecticut, but I wanted to just share a little bit of a story that I did share with Irene when we were speaking about our guests and choosing our guests. When I first met Pam, she had reached out to me, and she just said, you know what, let's get together. You seem like my kind of people. Let's get together and have coffee. And I said, absolutely. So, we met, and we started sitting down and just sharing a little bit about ourselves. As she was explaining, she was getting prepared to leave a 28-year as an employee. And she was going to jump ship and go right into this entrepreneurial ship, which she had been cultivating all along as a life coach. So she has experience, but she was ready to drop the full-time and go into the full-time entrepreneur step. And what made me just be drawn to her was her personality. And I know you remember this, Irene, her personality. She was just so
she's a bundle of joy. I mean, honestly, this woman is a bundle of joy. Always smiling.
She's just, yes, and easy to talk to, and just somebody who you want to be connected with. So
wait, Karen, let me hold it there because, she's likable, approachable, and she made you feel comfortable. And it was like you knew her, like she knew you. It was just a wonderful, when I first met you, Pam, and that's exactly how I describe you.
Well, thank you.
It was absolutely beautiful. And it was an event
that's why she's on the We Are Beautiful show.
Yes.
Because she is beautiful. And not only in stature, but in personality and just what she exudes to all the people. So Pam, tell us a little bit about why you decided to kind of jump ship from full-time employee to entrepreneur. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Oh, sure. Well, actually, I had been in the insurance field for 28 years, working from pool secretary up to chief operating officer of this insurance, in this insurance practice. And quite a few, maybe 3 or 4 years back, I worked with a coach to help rebrand me. And as I was inside the company, no intentions of leaving at all. But as I was working with my coach at the time, I just realized that there was just so much more. And that even though what I was doing was very helpful to other people, because it was the life insurance business, right? So we were helping people plan for their future. It was awesome, but there was something missing, that I needed something for myself to grow. And I was working with her, and I had a lot of self-discovery around it, and realized that I could be the master of my own life. I could write my own chapters because it's my story, right? And
that's fantastic, yes.
So that's how it grew. And that's the seed that started me moving forward on starting Powerful Purpose.
See, now that seed, to me, that is just so inspiring to hear, because a lot of times we find, or you hear stories of entrepreneurs that, they thought about it for years. They thought about, I shouldn't, this and that. But you know what? It sounds to me like you took the big leap. And that's scary for a lot of people, which I certainly understand as well, as being an entrepreneur for over 17 years myself. I remember being scared and wondering and worrying and different things. But, once you dive into the deep end of the pool, it seems to work out, especially when you have such a good core group of colleagues and friends and mentors and what have you. And it sounds like you had a coach that was a mentor to you as well to help you in this journey, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. She said one day, as we were working together and we're developing myself inside the practice, because even though I held a very prestigious position inside the practice, sometimes I still had that feeling I was the pool secretary. So,
right.
And so as I was working with her one day, she said to me, what are you going to do? Is this going to be a nonprofit? Because I was running workshops out of my house and just dabbling in it. And,
right.
Or is this going to be a real business? And those, in a way, were kind of like fighting words for me. Let me show you.
Somebody sparked that fire.
What real business is. Exactly.
Right.
So, and we can't let fear paralyze us, right? So we have to step outside that comfort zone. And that's what I did. And I'm teaching women how to do the same in transitions in their lives and their businesses. And I needed to walk the walk. And it's been 3 years of preparing, financially and building a network to get to this point.
But see, you've done it, and you dabbled a little, then you jumped in, and that's what I did for many years myself, as I was in a whole different life way back 17 years ago when I started. And it was a different mindset, and where I was raising the kids and where they were in school, that all played a part in it. And I did it part-time, and then finally, after a few years, went full-time with it, and here I am. And, it can be scary, but somebody like yourself, I think, again, going back on when we did first meet, I just felt so comfortable with you. And as Irene echoed the same sentiment, you just exude positivity, and you exude just great. And I don't want to make you blush, but I mean, these are all true. I felt like I had a friend in you. And that, to me, is important with what you're doing as a life coach to help guide people. Don't you agree, Irene?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when I first met you, Pam, at an event Karen was holding, you were very approachable, and I seen how you worked with all these other women, and not just women, children as well. So it was like, a lot of people you look for that in people that you're working with, and like I said, you're likable, you're approachable. And for me, that is like a major key when you want to work with someone. And since you work with so many other women entrepreneurs or helping them in starting up their businesses, I find what you do very valuable for me personally on all levels. And that's beautiful. That is extremely beautiful. So, and we've been, yeah, it is, and we've been friends ever since. So I'm just,
that's it. That's it. Now tell us a little bit about Pam. Who is your biggest mentor and why? Why did, just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was thinking about that, and I really believe my biggest mentor is my mom. I was writing this Women in Purpose newsletter, and I was posting it out there in social media. And I did a bunch of different women who I admired, like Mother Teresa, Audrey Hepburn, all these different Amelia Earhart
people. Yeah,
some really awesome women. And I got views and stuff, but I wrote about my mom, and it exploded. And because she was a school teacher by trade, gave up teaching to be home with her children and raise us. And we came from very little means, right? But my parents really worked hard to give us what they could. And I believe what they always gave us it wasn't material, it was our work ethic, our faith, and our morals. So,
and those are fabulous things. Fabulous.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And there's not a lot of that.
No, and I really admire her, because back then she went out and she did home shows, right? Home decorating shows at night, because she was an entrepreneur. And I never really thought about it until I started writing this article. It's like I grew up with a mom who was an entrepreneur, and I respected her, and she did that for 37 years, lugging her
fabulous
pictures and, and all that. So I would really say my mom has been my inspiration and my mentor. Even to this day, she is. Yes, absolutely.
That is fabulous. And you're very, very lucky, may I say, very, very lucky to have a mother who is somebody that you can emulate. Somebody that is supportive and easy to be with. And I just, hats off to your mom. I'd like to salute your mom for that, because, a lot of people don't have that in their life. And I'm very happy to hear that. And I think it's just so awe-inspiring. It really, really is.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing when my daughter and I and her are together. It's like a 3-generation, and it's interesting when a bunch of Italians get together, and my husband is wonderful and patient with us.
Well, that's fabulous. You know what I mean? It just, sometimes I and as an etiquette coach, I often go back to this, I say as a whole, society as a whole, okay, is getting away from family values and doing things together and everything. So it really is heartwarming to hear your story and, who you emulate as, your mentor and your role model, that being your mother, because family is so important. And I just hope that, in telling your story today, we're reaching a lot of people who hear this again, for lack of better words, heartwarming story of entrepreneurship, the jump from being a 28-year employee to entrepreneurship, but because you were inspired by family. And I just think it's wonderful. Yeah. And you're inspiring from what it seems too. And I see on your social media sites all the time that you're with your daughter. I know she does cheerleading, and she's in the private school. But I mean, it's just wonderful to see the pictures. And that's something too that I wanted to bring up today as part of this is, how do you feel social media and family or personal plays into being an entrepreneur? Because I do the same thing. I know Irene does the same thing on social media, we post things. I try not to do just all business. I try to put in, because I'm proud of my kids, what we're doing, or the dog or whatever. So how do you feel that that impacts you and society as a whole with putting social media and personal together? How do you feel about that?
Well, I think sometimes there's a really fuzzy line there, right? So if you have your business pages on social media, that's wonderful to use. LinkedIn is a dynamite place to be when it comes to business and promoting your business. I mean, it really is. And Facebook, I have my personal stuff, and I let certain amount of people into my personal, and I have pretty high privacy. And then with my business pages, and I have groups and stuff that I create, that they don't have to get into my personal area to benefit from what I have to offer on the business side, right? So I have group pages of professional moms, professional women who are moms. And in that area, I'll talk a little bit more about being a mom and juggling the many hats that we have to have as a mom and a professional. But then my work, the Women Creating Business page is more around creating our businesses as entrepreneurs. And that has to do with mom too. But I think really trying to keep some of your personal stuff, because I really think that our social media is our resume of today.
Yes, it is. Yeah. I agree with you on that.
So I really think we have to be mindful of what we post and where we post it.
Well, I agree wholeheartedly. But I think also too, I'm having a struggle myself right now where I have my business page and I don't have as many friends because I go by my business being Karen Thomas Etiquette. Mostly people who look me up on social media look for Karen Thomas. So when they find me, that was pretty much my personal page, but I found that most of my business contacts have contacted me through that. I've tried to steer them to their business page with not much luck. So what I decided over the last couple of weeks, and I've just implemented it this week, I've decided to go with my personal page as Karen Thomas Etiquette. I changed it rather from just Karen Thomas. Karen Thomas Etiquette, that's where all of my acquaintances and everything. So it's kind of a mix, and I'm kind of a little skeptical about this jump that I did, but I also think too, though, that some of the stuff, like, and I'll post some funny things, and never anything inappropriate, but things about maybe the dog or the kids, whatever. But I think it also gives people a chance to see that I'm human and a little bit on not major personal issues, but the family side, that I am a mother and a wife as well as an entrepreneur. So that's where I went with this jump. You know what I mean? And it's fun. But I mean, when you brought up LinkedIn, though, I have to admit, LinkedIn, I don't ever put anything on LinkedIn specifically about personal or anything like that. All I put on LinkedIn is all business. It is anything to do with my etiquette or where I've been or what I've done or, like radio shows or TV appearances, because I feel that certain venues, and Irene, I'd love to hear how you feel, like certain venues in social media are different. So in other words, for me, LinkedIn is all business. Facebook, I kind of intertwine both with business and personal a little bit. Again, very, very out there personal, just, plain things, nothing major.
All my pages, I'll be honest with you, I use them as business. So you very rarely see, first of all, I'm representing a magazine and companies, and I have some friends, but a lot of the people I consider friends, there are fans. And I rather post about all these beautiful people. Now, my children have all their own Facebook pages. And again, they keep it very, very simple. They don't want to advertise because they're in college and some of them are looking for jobs. So, and I tell them that's the first place that your new employer is going to look at. is your social media. And yes,
Absolutely.
they know you're human. They know that you're a college kid, and they're looking at it to see your character and how that character is going to help their company advance, no matter how you look at it. So,
right. Absolutely.
so for me, you know, the government knows everything that everybody's doing. So if everybody's so afraid of that, welcome to the real world of technology. Okay, they've known for years. So, but for me, it's the voices of all our fans that are on there. I post on my personal as well as on all my business pages, and I have a lot of business pages and in different groups. Just to wrap it up, I just want everybody to know we've got 10 minutes left on this conversation. So,
I love it. I see that.
Pam.
I finally,
Yeah. Can I add one thing back to we were talking a little bit about
Absolutely.
my mom as a mentor and family. I know some people don't have the benefit of having those relationships. So, but
Yes.
it doesn't mean that what I call, it doesn't mean you can't create your dream team around you, right? So if you don't have that, that warmth of support from your family, create a dream team. Create people around you that are going to elevate you, right, and lift you up and be by your side, and create your own family circle. And it does.
That is fabulous.
If you had something personal. So I just wanted to add that to someone who might not have had that relationship could go out and find that relationship or really align themselves with creating a dream team.
And you know what? That is fabulous advice. And I'm glad that you brought that back around, because I am one of those people who doesn't have that support, so to speak, family-wise. My husband, absolutely. My husband is he is like your mother. You know what I mean? Is to you, Pam.
That's beautiful.
100%. You know what I mean?
So mine too.
I don't have, the other support like you spoke of. But I mean, you know what? I have surrounded myself with people, and I'm going to say this right here and right now, like you, Pam, like you, Irene, who are encouraging and positive to put together. So I know that, I feel that I could pick up the phone tomorrow if I was in a big problem and call you, Pam, and say, hey, you're in Connecticut. I need that, could you help me?
Yeah.
Or the same thing with Irene, and know that Irene would jump in the car and in any second. So I think that is the most important message really today as part of our show. I'm really glad that came out. It is such a beautiful thought, but it is an actual truth.
It is. So create your own dream team. And like you, my husband is my soulmate and my supporter, enabling me to be able to follow my dreams. Just create your dream team, and it'll help you tremendously.
That is fabulous. Now, before we get going here, because I know we only have a few minutes left here, I would like to know, we would like to close our show out before we go, but before we do, we'd like to know, what is your favorite quote?
Oh, my favorite quote. Oh, I have to think of exactly how it's said. She is clothed. Oh, my goodness. I have it written
I have it right here.
You have it for me?
Because
I would love you. Because I want to make sure.
It's phenomenal. Yes, it is just phenomenal. Your quote, it says, she is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. And that is from Proverbs 31:25. And I think that is just so powerful. Tell us why that's your favorite quote.
Well, I'm a very spiritual person, but I love that quote because it really sums up women in any day, in modern times, past times, that we are clothed. We have, as long as we keep our dignity, we are clothed in that, and we have the strength to handle anything that comes our way because we're powerful. And that's one of the reasons why my business is Powerful Purpose, right? Because we are powerful. And if we live our life by power and purpose, and not by circumstances, we could tackle anything. So that's why those two
Absolutely.
things, they really hit home for me.
I absolutely love that. Now, we're going to put you on the spot because I don't think that I prepped you on this, but we're going to put you on the spot because we have what we call a Friday cocktail, favorite cocktail. And Irene and I post this, and we're starting with, as you're our first guest of the year, we are starting with you. So we are going to put you on the spot and have you tell us what your favorite cocktail is, and hopefully you can recite the recipe, whether it's alcoholic, non-alcoholic, or whatever. What is your favorite cocktail to have on happy hour on Friday?
Oh, my goodness. A Tito's Dirty Martini with a shot of hot sauce.
Oh, I want to taste that one.
Irene, that one's
Another martini, baby. Yes.
That is right up your alley. That's fantastic.
Yep, straight up, not on the rocks, and put a shot of hot sauce, Tabasco sauce in it. Yeah.
There's Irene. Now you've got Irene's attention. So that will be our Friday cocktail that we'll be posting on Friday in salute to Pam Drzwicki, who is with Powerful Purpose, and she is our guest today on the show. Before we close everything out, we have a few minutes left. Pam, I would love for you to give your information as far as your website and where people can get in contact with you, please.
Absolutely. Thank you. My website is www.powerful-purpose.com. Feel free to reach out there and sign up for my daily inspirations and tips and newsletters that I put out. You could register online there. And then also, you could find me on Facebook under Powerful Purpose. And I just released a book November 1st, and that could be found on Amazon. And the name of that book, if you just put #nugget in the search field, you'll find the book and it'll come up. And that's my new book that released in November.
That is fantastic, and I know that has been released to rave reviews that I've been watching. I've been watching all of your actions, and no, I'm not a stalker.
She is.
No, you know what? No, it's I believe in collaboration wholeheartedly. One of the things that I'm going to try to do is be a little bit more like Pam and reach out to a few more people. One of the problems I have in my own self and life is reaching out for help. And with Irene, I have in her somebody when she knows when I'm backing off, and she will call me and get in touch with me and make sure, because sometimes I will enclose myself. So one of the things I'm looking to do and I'm hoping to achieve in 2017 is getting to be a little more collaborative with people and reaching out and just being there for other people as well. And Pam, it was just such a pleasure to have you not only as our first guest of the year on the radio, but just to have your friendship and to be able to call you a colleague. It is an absolute pleasure. And Irene,
thank you.
I genuinely mean that. And we've learned so much about you, about what you do, but your journey from how you started, where you are now, and how you got there. And I think that's an inspiring story for all of our listeners to heed, and to, maybe there's people out there listening today that feel maybe they're not sure or whatever, but after hearing you today, I think that you have definitely impacted their world and, told them that, it's okay, and surround yourself with people who can be your core group. Whether it's family or not, and you can do it, because you know what? We are all beautiful. Correct, Irene?
Absolutely. And Pam, you are absolutely beautiful. I can't thank you enough for being our guest today, and especially for our first guest for the show. I'm salivating right now. I'm salivating right now for Friday's drink, so I can't wait to post that. Is it Friday yet? Well, as
right?
I always say, it's 5:00 somewhere, so why wait until Friday?
Right. So again, we are wrapping up our third show here, and this is We Are Beautiful Magazine Radio with Irene Pro and Karen Thomas, and we are thanking our guests, Pam Drzwicki of Powerful Purpose from Connecticut, in case some of you are wondering. And we're hoping that you all have a fabulous rest of the week. It is Wednesday. And look for us on Facebook and on Instagram. We have a new Instagram account. We are Beautiful Radio Team. And look for us there because we will be posting our guest cocktail mixture this Friday. So join us on this wonderful journey. And I want to thank you for listening. Irene?
Oh, you said it all, Karen. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And remember, you are beautiful. Thank you, Pam, for joining us. And
Thank you.
everybody have a wonderful week.
And remember, everybody, you got this.
You said it.
Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to stop on by next week for more beautiful voices on Bold Radio.